I'm now going to cover the properties panel for the Ripper X Loaded Black Edition, which is the most popular scalping product. Okay, so the first one we have here is license key. This is where you input the license key, pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have entry 1 settings. This is entry 1 quantity. Then we have entry 2 quantity and use entry 2. So entry 1 is the scalp target, and then entry 2 is the runner. So typically for the bot to work ideally, you want to have a 2-to-1 front load, so the quantity in entry 1 is double the size of entry 2. This protects you in consolidations. Okay, next we have the exit settings. So entry 1 target ticks, this is typically equivalent to 1 bar size. Entry 2 target ticks equivalent to 2 bar sizes. Now, oftentimes we don't use the entry 2 target because we want to give that room to run. So entry 2 is the runner and entry 1 is the scalp. So if you want to run the bot more conservatively and the volatility is not it's not particularly high at the moment, you can use a target for entry 2. It's typically that would be equivalent to 2 bars, 2 or 3 bars. Stop ticks is always 2.5 bars. Again, this is set to default for the 20 tick Ninja 25 bar, which is our default for the NQ. Stop and reverse, this is typically left on. So if stop and reverse is on and then the bolt is set on the directional toggle on the chart trader, which we'll show you next, then the bot will be allowed to stop and reverse. So let's say you're in a long trade and you get a short trigger before the stop or target is hit. The bot will stop and reverse, and then you can use the DRAM, which we'll talk about next, which will allow the bot to actually add contracts in the direction of the trade and on the subsequent direction. Okay, so next we have the exit settings. So use break in plus X stop. Again, this is fairly self-explanatory. This is on when target 1 is hit, it will lock in X ticks, whatever number this is here in this field, profit for the runner. So let's say, for example, you have target 1 set to 20, break in plus X set to 1. Once target 1 is hit and locks in 20 ticks on entry 1, it will then sell that contract or sell that entry, and then what it'll do is lock in 1 tick of profit on the entry 2, which is the runner. So make sure you can't lose on the runner while still giving it room to run, obviously. Okay, next we have DRAM settings. So again, for those of you new to TruTrade or unfamiliar with DRAM, it stands for Dynamic Risk Adjustment Module, which essentially means that the bot, if the bot will be allowed to stop and reverse, and then it will be allowed to actually add contracts. So the DRAM can engage whether or not the bot's actually going to stop and reverse. It's a common misconception. So let's say, for example, you have stop and reverse off, and the bot goes long and takes an L on a trade, then it will add X number of contracts to the subsequent entry, whether that's long or short, and that amount is going to be set using the DRAM parameters here. But typically, DRAM is used in a stop and reverse situation. That's when it's most effective, and that's what we recommend, and that's why by default it's on, and the stop and reverse is also going to be on by default. So that's typically where the bot's most fluid, most effective, and able to dynamically manage risk in the trenches live, while trading. So DRAM, okay, so let's say, for example, entry 1, entry 2. So DRAM in this particular product, on some of the lower tier bots, the Auto Ripper, for example, the DRAM only affects entry 1, but on this bot and the ShopBot Legend series, the DRAM will be viable on entries 1 and 2, also in the AutoTrend Pro. Okay, so you'll see here, this is basically equivalent to the entry 1 quantity. So it needs to be equal to or greater than entry 1 quantity for the math to work, for it to be ideal. You can put a lower number here in, but I highly recommend you not do that because we've done the homework, we've done the testing, and this is the ideal ratio. So again, DRAM entry quantity 2, this should be equivalent to this number. So say, for example, you were running your typical low exposure at 2-1. So 2 entry 1, 1 entry 2, then the DRAM quantity would be a 2 here and then a 1 here. And this number, max of DRAM adjustments, this means the max number of times DRAM can engage consecutively before it reverts back to the default position quantity. So typically we have 3 to 5 here. Again, you can be conservative or aggressive. DRAM can also be turned off. So you actually can turn off DRAM on the scalp entry and leave it on the runner, or turn it off on the runner and have it on the scalp entry on both or off on both. So again, very flexible here. Okay, so DTRAM. This is exclusive to our top tier products, the Ripper X Loaded Black Edition, and you also have the ShopBot Legend series. That one has it as well. So basically what this does is DTRAM stands for Dynamic Target Risk Adjustment Module, and what that allows you to do is simple. It's very simple and very powerful. So let's say, for example, and just to kind of summarize here, the point of DTRAM and DRAM is to manage risk, is to mitigate damage in a chop. So if you're in a consolidation, because remember, volatility is not something we can predict. Volatility is something we have to react to as traders. So we don't know, we can gauge the volatility at the time we turn the bot on, right? But we cannot there's no way for us to know how long that high volatility period will last for, or or how long contraction will last for, right? So what we're doing here is we're basically mitigating risk. So the DRAM and the DTRAM, when both used together and used in their appropriate settings, are very effective tools at keeping the bot from losing money during consolidations. It will actually still make money during consolidations most of the time if you have these both on and both dialed in correctly for the instrument and the bar size you're using at the time. Okay, so DTRAM went on, we'll turn on entry 1, entry 2. So what this does is it sets to a 5 when, if let's say it takes a loser, right, whether it's a stop and reverse or it actually gets stopped out, on the subsequent entry, regardless of the direction, it will then remove or decrement X ticks from the target on the next entry. So let's say target 1 was 20. If it has a loser, the DRAM kick on, then DTRAM kicks on if enabled, and the next target 1 is set to 15. So it can add contracts to the scalp or the runner on the next entry, and it can tighten the target from 20 to 15, or if this is a 10, it will actually cut the distance in half, making it that much easier for the target to be hit. So when you add additional contracts in the opposite direction, and then you also tighten the target, it's going to get hit much faster, and you're going to get more money out of that swing because you have additional contracts in the line. So the combination of DTRAM and DRAM is an extremely powerful combo, and when used correctly with adequate margin capital, you are your defense is very good, and regardless of high or low volatility, the bot's going to perform well. Okay, next we have risk management settings. This is basically the same with all of our products here, although this one, some of our lower tier products do not have account P&L. It's only on the instrument or that iteration of the bot. So this basically, if enabled, you can say, okay, kill switch profit. Let's say we have it to 2,000. And then we have kill switch max loss. Let's say it's 500. So what this means is that after you turn the bot on, if the bot has and again, this is realized gain, has a realized gain of 2K or a realized loss of 500 or more, the bot will turn off and stop trading until you manually restart the bot. Next, below that, this is the same thing, but this is on the account. So this is the bot's own P&L since enabled, and this is the account P&L of the account the bot is linked to. So these are two very different things. So let's say, for example, the account is at 5,000, and you have multiple bots using the account P&L. Let's say you're running the auto trend, the shot bot, and the Ripper X together, all in the same account, different instruments. And if that hits 5,000, this will turn all those off together. So basically, once your daily target is hit, regardless of which bot made the bulk of the profit, it doesn't matter. It'll turn all of them off together. So this is very powerful, particularly for people running 100K or 6-figure plus accounts. You're going to want to have this. Okay, kill switch loss, same thing. This is account based, and the account based includes realized and unrealized P&L. So keep that in mind, because remember, we're an account based target. We don't want to wait for the trade to close out, because there's certain bots where you could have a several $1,000, like the auto trade, for example, a huge unrealized gain with trading stop. And once your account P&L is hit, you're going to want to take all the money off the table. So that's what this does here. So you can actually set limits on each individual bot or instrument, and then have a bigger limit on the actual account the bots are linked to. So you can get very granular and very detailed in how you want to manage risk. And all these things let you manage the bot, while being away from the computer. So you can walk away and say, okay, my max profit's this, my max exposure is that, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm with the bot alone. Okay, next we have the plot P&L on chart. This is usually left on the bottom right corner of the screen. You'll see the account P&L. You can adjust the font size here. Max total trades. If you want the bot to just fire indefinitely, just put 10,000 something in here. A number is never going to be hit. Okay, let's say, for example, you wanted the bot to take 5 trades total. Put a 5 in here. Once turned on, after 5 trades, it will stop trading. Win, lose, or draw, doesn't matter. That's the maximum times it can fire, per session, each time you enable it. Okay, next we have time filter. Again, this is very common with all of our bots, but for those of you who are new to TruTrade, how this works essentially is this. So you'll have this is a 24-hour clock. It's using the Windows time on the bottom right corner of your PC. That's the clock it's using, not the exchange and not your template on your NinjaTrader, but your PC's clock. So let's say your EST, and you want the bot to trade for the first hour of the New York Stock Exchange cash open. That would be these settings here. So you have 9 for the hour, 30 for the minutes, and then 00 for the seconds. Let's say, for example, you want the bot to trade from 2 to 4 p.m. So in that case, it'd be 14, 0000, and then 4 p.m. would be 16. So 16 for the hour, 0000. And if you wanted to trade, for example, 9:36 a.m., let's say 10:36. So if it's an AM hour, it's going to be double digits. So 10, or excuse me, if it's 10 or later on the AM, it's going to be double digits. So 10, and then you have 36. So that's 10:36 AM, and then this would be, let's say, 10:49 AM and 43 seconds. So if you want to get very granular, you go down to the seconds. Most aren't going to use that, but it's there if you want it. So again, the time filter, if this is enabled, it will only trade during this window. Now, when this window elapses, if there's an open position, it will not automatically close it. It will let the trade wind down organically. This is just the allowable entry window for the bot. So let's say, for example, you want the bot to trade for the first hour of the day. You put 9:30 to 10:30 here if you're EST. If you're West Coast, 6:30 to 7:30, whatever your local time is, put it in here. Let's say if the bot takes 5 trades, or the bot's up 500 or down 100, all of these things can turn the bot off. So you can manage the allowable time window to trade, max number of trades, max account profit, max account drawdown, max profit on that instrument or this iteration of the bot, and then max drawdowns. You can basically manage every aspect of the risk and turn the bot on and walk away from the computer and let it do its thing. That being said, we do have users that like to sit in front of the computer and time the bot and kind of use the buttons, which we'll show you next, the on-off buttons to discretionarily engage the bot. That's totally fine too, but completely unnecessary. Typically with the Ripper X or the Shot bot, the top tier scalping bots, the bots just run on a timer. You set the risk parameters you're comfortable with here, and let's let the bot do its thing. There's no need to manually engage the bot or to play with it really. That's not what it was designed to use. Okay, so next we have here the background color settings. So this is basically built-in indicators we have, and all of the Ripper bots have this. The Auto Ripper, the Power Ripper, and the Ripper X. So these are very powerful tools, again, for those that want to discretionarily engage the bot. The bot doesn't actually use these in its decision making, but you can use them, and again, they're very powerful. So some of the smaller traders that have these bots like to, like I said, time the entries. So these indicators, there's some other materials posts. Once you purchase the bot, there's other videos that explain how to use these in more depth, so we're not going to really cover that here. But basically, this will tell you who's in control. It's a momentum indicator. If the bulls are in control, it's going to be the up color. If the bears are in control, it's the down color. So that gives you an idea, of who's winning the war, so to speak. Okay, next we have trend lines. Again, these will connect swing highs and lows to give you a very clear picture of current trends. So when you combine the trend lines with the background color, you can take some very good entry timing in terms of when to engage the bot. This is how you just adjust how the trend line appears, a dash dot line, what colors you want it, etc. Okay, input series, same thing. You adjust this from the chart trader. Next we have the account. You can put a sim account, live account, whatever you want to do. Anything beyond the accounts tab, do not mess with the stuff. The on bar close, do not touch that. Do not change the look back period, bars required to trade, any of that stuff. Just leave it as is. Okay, that pretty much covers the properties panel. And then next I'm going to cover the custom chart trader. Okay, I'm now going to cover the custom chart trader for the Ripper X Black Edition. So the first button we have here is the on-off switch. This is very common. All of our bots pretty much have this. So once you turn the button on and enable it, this will show up. And to actually see this, you have to go to the chart trader. And again, only the paid version of Intraday has this ability. So make sure you must have the purchased version of their software as well. So you can turn the chart trader on or off with this little icon here. So then it's off, you can't see it. Turn it on. So this must be on to use all the TruTrade products. So again, once the bot's enabled, this acts like a on-off or essentially a pause switch. So if this is off, the bot can be on, locked and loaded, everything, but it's not actually going to take any shots unless this is set to on. So if you want to be present while it's trading, you can control that with the on-off switch. Okay, so next we have the flat button. This will basically take the money and run. If you're in a position, an open position, the bot put on, and you want to basically take the profit instead of letting the trade finish out naturally, go ahead and hit this. Third, we have the toggle switch for the bot's trading direction, so both is the default. This is what we recommend in most cases. You can run the bot as long or short only, but remember the stop and reverse won't work that way, because typically if you're in a high probability long trade, like for example, the bot would have taken this trade here, big winner, but let's say you took a short and then it went long. Usually a high probability long that fails, this is a high probability short. So if stop and reverse is on, direction set to both, and you have DRAM and DTRAM on, you're in good shape, right? But if you have it just, let's say for example, long only or short only, the bot can't stop and reverse, and it's kind of weakened. It weakens the ability to manage risk. That being said, however, though, if you're trading, let's say, for example, multiple bots, let's say you're running the Ripper X Black Dish on the NQ, you're running the Auto Trend on the ES, and you're running the Shot Bot on crude oil, for example, and you want to have one hedge the other, those kinds of situations, you can put the bot to just trade one direction or the other, and in that case, it makes sense. But if you're just going to trade one instrument at a time, like you're only going to attack the NQ, leave it on both, and then have all the dynamic risk technology enabled. That way you have the bot, running its maximum potential, and it's safest to have all these features on. Okay, next we have the manual versus auto mode. So the RipX Black Edition has the ability to run fully auto with the A here, or manual. If manual's on, the bot can actually take trades long or short on demand. So if you put this on manual like it is now, this will match the color of these buttons, and you click the long button, it will actually enter long. It will not wait for a trigger to happen per the algorithm's rules. It will actually enter the trade on demand when you press the button. And then the bot will actually use the same break-even plus X stops, the runner. It will exit the trade the same way the bot would exit the trade if it were to take the trade naturally, which is very, very cool. So basically, you can control entries if you want to. Those of you who want to be hands-on, you're going to absolutely love this feature. If you want to use another indicator or something to time an entry, and you want to use the bot sort of as a high-end chart trader, it has that functionality as well. So again, not everybody uses these features, but for those people who like to be hands-on, it's very nice to have that. And again, long here, short here, and the flat button will still exit these positions even if you enter them manually. So that's good to know as well. So that basically covers everything for the chart trader. In the next part of the video, we're going to talk about recommended different types of settings. We're going to show you some historical fills, show you how effective the bot is, both in trends and consolidation periods. So yeah, it's coming next. Okay, so now we're going to look at some of the fills for today, so you can see basically how the bot trades, get an idea of what it's doing, and what you can expect when you use it. So what I'm going to do now is this is some of the trades from this morning. So we have 6:44 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to go ahead and just show you, what the bot did per contract, so you can get an idea, see for yourself. So we'll go to drawing tools, range value. You can download this tool for free from the Ninja ecosystem, and it basically just shows you the dollar amount of profit you would make, per increment on the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and show you here. So we have the fill price here. We have the exit one here. This was for the runner. So this right here is your initial entry one. So that's your scalp, and then this is entry two, the runner. So on this little swing right here, made about 390 profit. Obviously, with slippage and commissions, you'd be probably making about 375, 360, somewhere in there. But again, a very large profit. And if you look closely, we'll go ahead and put on the crosshairs here, so you can see. Let's see here. So 645. All it is. So this was made in about basically a minute. So we're talking about $350 plus per minute. So on a 10 lot, that'd be 3,500. Then we'll take a look at the subsequent swing. Then right after that, we had this swing here, which made over $1,000 per contract. So on a 10 lot, you would have made over $10,000 from 6:46 a.m. to 6:50. So basically about $10,000 in under 5 minutes if you were to have a 10 lot on the runner. But even a single contract as the runner with 2 on the scalp would have netted about 1,400 or so on this little swing. And again, this is under 5 minutes. So you can see here that the Ripper series basically trades trend directional momentum. It's a highly accurate bot. It only trades with the trends. Some of our other products like the Shot Bot, etc., will trade both with the trend and against the trend, and they will trade much more actively in terms of chasing one on both sides. So for example, the Shot Bot would go after this momentum probably as well, whereas the Ripper series is going to pinpoint only trend directional swings and maintain that high accuracy. So again, we'll go to the most recent activity here, and this is just on the cash open, basically the Asian session. So even this most recent swing here, if we look at the value of this, and this just happened. So we're talking about, just in the last, hour. So from here all the way to here, we have a profit of almost $800. And again, this was made at 1538 to 1629 or 16. So basically, Again, under an hour here, and this is the lowest volatility time of the day. The markets are basically dead during this time period. So again, you can still make insane money even when volatility is low, and you can see here how versatile and how effective the bot is. Even in chop and consolidation, it's still hitting winners on the scalps. And then when a breakout does actually occur, you're catching the bulk of the move with the runner. So next, I'm going to go ahead and put a stock on here so you can see how this works with equities. So we'll go ahead and put up Tesla, which is very popular as a day trading stock for these bots. We'll go ahead and let this chart load up here. Now, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the fills on this, just so you can see the versatility of this product. So again, whether you're trading stocks, futures, Forex, it doesn't matter. And again, this is not even an optimized bar size for this particular stock. But again, as you can see, it still works quite well. So I'm going to go ahead and use the range tool, check the value of these swings. So from here to here, we got about $1.40. So again, that's per share. So on 1,000 shares, it's about $1,400. Again, that's a very quick swing. We'll check this one here. And another nice little swing. That's $1.10, and then we'll check this one. That swing made about 79 cents. So as you can see here, this whole little trend here, this little three-phase trend, this lasted from about 11 a.m. Pacific to about 11:27, so about 30 minutes. So let's say you got 1,000 shares. You got 1,400 here, about 800 here. So just from that alone, you're basically looking at about 2,200, and then this one here, about 1,100. So about $3,300 on 1,000 shares, and that's just on the runners. You have even more with the scalp entry, all in about a half hour. So you can see bot is very powerful on stocks, very powerful on futures, and equally as powerful on Forex. Especially the major pairs like the Euro USD, Yen USD, any of the major pairs that have liquidity and volatility, you can make big money on those as well. So the bot's quite versatile. It works on everything. And after you purchase the bot, you get access to the members area, where basically you can log in. There's over 5 hours of training videos, give or take, depending on which product you buy. And that'll walk you through installation, setup, general best practices, how, when to use each auto mode and why, and best times, days to trade, how many contracts to use based on your margin available in your account. So all those factors. So basically, we've done the homework. We use the bots ourselves in the office. We've dialed everything in. Anything liquid and volatile, any like NQES, CLG, CRTY, BTC, 66J, even interest rates, treasury, all these things, they're already pre-dialed. So you actually get a PDF cheat sheet in your members area. It's going to have the recommended bar size, stops, and targets for all of these instruments. That's about it. It covers everything. Call your sales rep to get started, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you for watching.